Hey, it's the afternoon weather briefing. This is for Tuesday, the 24th of January. I'm James Spann. Got a pretty potent system coming in here tonight. A lot of rain, a lot of wind, maybe some severe storms over far south Alabama if the warm sector can get inland from the Gulf of Mexico. So a lot to talk about here. Let's go right to the upper air look, and this thing is pretty much unfolding as advertised. There is a very deep trough going negative tilt over Texas. Very strong wind fields, both at the surface and aloft. And that's producing some very active weather over southeastern Texas. They've seen some tornado warnings today and snow in the cold air sector of the storm. In Alabama, it's been a pretty nice day today, but clouds are starting to thicken over the western side of the state. And we'll see those clouds thickening rapidly for the next couple of hours. And rain is on the way. In fact, you can see just a large mass of rain showing up west of the state, Mississippi, Louisiana. Now, Arkansas, for east and south Arkansas, that's rain, but for north and west Arkansas, that's snow falling back there. And we have noted this curious echo on radar. This is coming off the Birmingham radar, that echo you see there over North Tuscaloosa County. We believe that could be military chaff coming from a military aircraft. They might be doing some operations over the state today. Sometimes they do that from Columbus Air Force Base or Eglin. Don't know for sure, but again, interesting to note that radar echo. But understand, everybody's going to be wet tonight. Temperatures right where they should be for the 24th of January. For the northern half of the state, we've got mostly 50s, and even South Alabama in the 50s today. Mobile 57, Dothan 55. The unstable air is not inland at this point, and if numbers stay like that, that's going to mitigate the chance of any severe storms near the Gulf Coast, but we think there is a chance higher dew points could surge inland tonight, and we still have the chance of severe storms, especially near the coast and extreme southwest Alabama. But everybody will have a lot of wind tonight, gradient winds, not related to thunderstorms, gradient winds. And you can see all 67 Alabama counties under some type of wind advisory. For most of the counties, it is a wind advisory for the possibility of winds gusting to 40 miles an hour at times, maybe a little higher on the ridgetops. And those brighter counties down in southwest Alabama, Choctaw, Clark, Washington, Mobile, and Baldwin, that is a high wind warning where the winds could be higher. Gradient winds, again, not related to storms. So that's one thing. No matter where you are in Alabama, it's going to be very windy tonight. It's going to be windy and noisy, and if you got something out in the front yard that's going to blow away to East Aboga or Andalusia, you need to bring that thing in, whether it's a trash can or your husband or whatever. Just secure any loose objects on your property. And around the nation, the counties to the north and west in the pink, those are winter storm warnings in effect for parts of Oklahoma, northwest Arkansas, southeast Missouri, parts of Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, as they're in the cold sector of the storm, and they'll see a pretty good swath of snow there. Some snow amounts could exceed 5-6 inches in spots. So this is the severe weather outlook through tonight. We had a few tornado warnings around Houston today, but really not much change here. We still have this level 3 out of 5 enhanced risk over the southwestern corner of the state, and that's where the main chance of severe weather will be. I fully see on that map we have a level 2 risk up to Sweetwater and Greenville and a marginal risk up to Tuscaloosa, but the air will be stable. And we see no chance of any severe weather for the northern half of the state. The concern it's that level 3 out of 5 risk down in Mobile, Escambia, Baldwin counties, and parts of Washington, Clark, Conecuh, and Monroe. And let's take a look at the probabilistic outlook. This is the tornado outlook. And really no change here. And again, the hatched area, that means there might be, if the air can become unstable, there might be a strong tornado. And by definition, that's EF2 or higher over southwest Alabama, the western part of the Florida Panhandle, South Mississippi, southeast Louisiana tonight. And this is going to be a middle of the night thing, really 11 p.m. until 4 a.m. And again, that's the greatest concern for severe storms, damaging wind, and tornadoes. In fact, this is the damaging wind probabilistic outlook with thunderstorms tonight. And you can see the chance of damaging wind within a severe storm within 25 miles of a given point is 30 to 44% over southwest Alabama. So the storms, if they can get going, will pack a punch. But again, just I stress, everybody statewide will see a lot of wind tonight because of gradient winds, not necessarily because of thunderstorms. So this is tomorrow. This is after 6 a.m. tomorrow. and a small part of southeast Alabama, just the southeastern corner of the state down at Dothan, is in a risk for storms that might linger past 6 a.m. I'd say everything should be out of the state by 8 a.m. tomorrow. And then on day 3, which is Thursday, no thunderstorms expected across the entire country. This is the rain for the next 7 days. Rain amounts for most of Alabama between 1 and 2 inches. After the event tonight, the next rain will be Sunday, and then we'll see more rain Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. So, model fans, here we go. This is the high-res HER model, the high-resolution rapid refresh, HRRR, valid tonight at, let's see, that's 05Z, that's 11 p.m. Just a large mass of rain over North Alabama, North and West Alabama, probably no thunder. Storms over South Mississippi and Louisiana could be severe, and they'll be rolling through southwest Alabama after midnight. But this is the big limiting factor in this whole thing. We've shown this for days, and you can see the instability values are extremely limited and really confined to extreme South Mississippi and South Alabama. And if we had higher instability values farther north, it'd be a problematic night tonight. But thankfully we don't, because the wind fields are just screaming. This is the storm relative helicity values, almost off the chart. But again, the gradient winds will be very gusty tonight. Models have come down a little bit in terms of the wind gust potential, but I still think we could see winds gusting to 40 miles an hour in spots. And maybe if you're on a ridge, the wind gust might be a little higher than that. And because the ground is so wet, that might bring down a couple of trees and maybe some scattered power outages in the middle of the night tonight. And those strong gradient winds will be really up between about 8 o'clock tonight and 4 or 5 in the morning. And even during the day tomorrow, it's going to be gusty, not quite as windy as that. So the bottom line is windy, wet, stormy for South Alabama tonight. So this is tomorrow. Back to the GFS. This is the 12Z run, valid tomorrow at 4. The trough is progressive, and we are in a drier slot of air. The rain should be ending early in the day. Clouds will linger, and most places will stay in the 50s all day. And again, it's going to be pretty breezy during the day tomorrow. So this is Thursday, colder, 40s for North Alabama, 50s for South Alabama. And again, there might be a few snow flurries Thursday morning near the Tennessee state line up in the Tennessee Valley. If that happens, we don't expect any impact. This is Friday, a sunny day. We start the day below freezing, mostly in the 20s. The high Friday will be in the 50s, again, very seasonal. Saturday looking good as the weekend begins. Lows in the 30s, highs in the 50s. 60s for South Alabama. And then here comes the next wave on Sunday with rain moving back in. And this should be a fairly stable air mass. Don't expect any severe weather, probably not much thunder. And then Monday of next week, that wave is on by. We're dry. And this is a week from today, Tuesday the 31st of January. Got a trough off to the west and rain beginning to creep back in here. Looks like we'll probably have some rain to deal with Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. Let's go out 10 days. This is Friday, the 3rd of February, troughing over the northeastern states, and we're cool and dry. And understand we have seen different looks out here. Some of the deterministic outputs look really cold, but other runs have not, like this. That looks seasonal. But I do think the pattern would favor a pretty good cold shot at some point during the first half of February. Exactly when and how that evolves, we don't know that yet, but we'll just be watching for trends. We'll check rain for Birmingham coming off the GFS ensemble. The mean continues that green line there between 3 and 4 inches between now and the 9th of February. And this is coming from the National Blend of Models, and this is for Birmingham. And if you average those numbers out, they're right at average values. Got a couple of days with highs in the 40s, a couple of days with low 60s, but most days, 50s and 30s, which is what you expect this time of the year. And hot off the presses. At the brand new CPC Outlook, the 8 to 14-day outlook, this is for the 1st through the 7th of February. Pretty cold up north, very cold air, but the upper wind's not quite allowing it down in here. And if this forecast verifies, temperatures across Alabama should be pretty close to average. Hey, let's roll some Pepsi Kid Cam. Look at these bright-eyed students, kindergarten students at Vestavia Hills Elementary School West. Had a chance to drop by there this morning. They were looking good. Talked a lot about weather. A lot to talk about in a day like today. Ooh, we love those cookie cakes. That's awesome. We'll be probably up pretty late tonight, so that's coming in very handy. But again, those kids were just great. So again, to all the students, the faculty members, and everybody at Vestavia Hills Elementary School West, thanks a lot for a great visit earlier today. So that's going to do it for the afternoon briefing here. If you're new here, we do these twice a day live. We simulcast on YouTube and Facebook. In the morning, it's done about 5:15. The afternoon, about 2:30, 2:45. But we know that most of you watched later, which is great. We have notes on the blog. That is alabamawx.com. And we invite you to watch us right across the hall here, Studio A. ABC 3340 News this evening at 4, 5, and